listen closely. That's not just paint rolling on a wall. It's artistry. A master painter carefully applying Benjamin Moore Regal Select eggshell with deftly executed strokes. The roller lightly cradled in his hands, applying just the right amount of paint. It's like hearing poetry in motion. Benjamin Moore, see the love.
Today on CityCast Boise. School starts next week in the Boise and West Ada districts, and this year, parents are spending an average of $700 per child to get them ready for school. Nearly half of these families are sacrificing necessities to try and afford to get their kids back to the classroom. So I invited local couponing legend Heather Wheeler, co-founder of the Krazy Coupon Lady, to share her back-to-school tips and tricks to save your budget. It's Thursday, August 8th. I'm Lindsay Van Allen, and this is what Boise's talking about. Thank you so much for joining us today, Heather.
Yes, thanks so much for having me. It's great to be here.
One of the reasons that I wanted to invite you is because you are one of the first, like the OG coupon expert. And I just want to know, are there cost-effective ways for families to get the school supplies that they need in 2024 without blowing up their budget?
Yes, there really are. Although it's a little more expensive this year. As I've been doing my back-to-school shopping, I'm like, wait, binders are how much? So we are seeing that just like everything else, it's a little bit more expensive. But there are some really great ways to save. And do you want me to jump right into it?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna ask a little bit about your process, unless you have like some like hot tips or like top of the show. We've got to hit that because that's.
I mean, I'm dying to talk about all of it, but really, sort of my ethos is if you're willing to take just a little bit more time, and like really for back to school shopping, that means if you're willing to hit 2 or 3 stores instead of maybe getting everything all at one store, that really can save you significant money. I'm talking, $50 or $100 on certain items. And so the shopping around thing really does pay off with back to school shopping specifically.
That's good to know. That's because sometimes that feels like, is this worth it? But putting hard numbers on it, I think, makes it feel a lot more worth it.
Totally.
And there are so many different parts to back to school shopping. It's a whole process. You have clothes, you have shoes, you have supplies, you have, water bottles, lunch boxes, the snacks and the food. So how do you prioritize your back to school purchases?
So I like to do supplies first because those tend to run out. Like if you shop Target too late, there's going to be a lot of things that are out of stock. And so what I like to do with school supplies is first go through the inventory in your house because a lot of times we have leftover stuff. And so I like to get it all on my kitchen table and just kind of go through the kids list and like check things off that we already have. So I like to reuse binders, the filler paper we usually have a lot of, index cards.
Always leftover filler paper.
Right? All of that. And even like crayons or markers, you can sometimes, and scissors, you can reuse. So first inventory your house, and then my favorite place for school supplies is actually Staples. They have the best prices for crayons, markers, glue, filler paper, folders, spiral notebooks. And right now they have a coupon. So if you take in any item that you want to recycle, it could be an old ripped backpack, an old calculator, whatever you're not going to use, you can take that in and they're going to give you a $10 coupon off of a $30 purchase.
Whoa.
And so then if you get all of those items that we know are cheapest at Staples and then get right to that $30 mark and then use your $10 coupon and get everything for $20, that's going to be significant savings just right there.
That is huge savings. How early do you start thinking about buying school supplies?
Oh, it's terrible. But as soon as the kids get out of school for the summer, is when I start thinking about it. And we usually see sales start to ramp up in late June. So that's really probably when you should be paying attention. And, the other thing is I like to stock up. It's not just back to school. It's like your home office, anything you're going to need for the whole year as far as office supplies and school supplies go, we should be buying them between the last week of June and the last week of August.
Okay, I was going to ask you because everyone is advertising, back to school sales and everything's on sale right now. But is there like an off season or a time where it's actually a better deal? Everyone's just advertising now because school's starting up soon?
Right now really is the best time. And so the only thing that you could wait on is really the clothes, because all the summer clearance is going to start once the kids go back to school. So if you can hold your kids off from the clothing shopping, you could do that in September. Like the Labor Day sales are really good. And so if you can hold your kids off, I think you could wait on that piece. But I know so many kids are like so excited for that first day of school outfit. So that one's a little bit tricky.
Yes, just keep them wearing shorts if they had a growth spurt so you don't got to buy those new jeans.
Exactly. But speaking of jeans, Target right now they're doing a recycle sale also. So if you take in an old pair of jeans to Target, they're going to give you, and they could be any brand, they're going to give you a 20% off coupon for denim at Target.
So can I ask, with these like recycle sales, I'm not just going to like take these pants to the register, right? Do I have to go to customer service or how do I get these coupons at like Target or Staples?
Yeah, at Staples, you can go to any associate. At Target, I would recommend going to customer service.
Okay, perfect. I think everyone is really curious, always curious this time of year. Where are the best deals? And so you already mentioned Staples and you mentioned a Target sale, but what stores or websites have deals that are just like so hot that the crazy coupon lady shops there?
Okay, so as far as clothing goes, here's my two favorite. The J. Crew factory has 60% off clearance right now. And the Gap outlet has 55% off clearance. So that's where I'm taking my kids to shop. And then I actually really love TJ Maxx and Ross, like for my teenagers, because they have, those brands that the teenagers all love, but better prices. So those are my three favorite places for clothing. And then Staples is where I go, and Target for my school supplies. Staples is great because they'll price match Amazon. And so you just keep your phone with you, have the Amazon app up while you're shopping Staples. And if there's anything cheaper, like the graphing calculators right now are $120 at Staples, but they're $100 at Amazon. And so when you're checking out, you just show them, as long as it's sold by Amazon.com and not a third party, they'll match any price at Amazon. So I love Staples for that. That's my go-to. And their stock stays, pretty well stocked, whereas like Target, I feel like runs out really quick, like I mentioned.
Do you have a favorite Target or Staples location in the Treasure Valley that you like to go to where they're maybe always stocked or parking's better or there's a better likelihood you're going to find what you need there?
Yes. So for me, it's the Staples and Target that are on the corner of Chinden and Eagle Road. And it's nice because they're close. And so I just did my daughter's back to school shopping. And we started at Staples and got everything except they didn't have one thing. And so then we hopped over to Target and did that. So I like those because they're close to each other in case you need to go to two stores. And that Staples is always stocked. They have, everything you need. It's not super busy and it's an easy in and out.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You might say all kinds of stuff when things go wrong, but these are the words you really need to remember. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. They've got options to fit your unique insurance needs, meaning you can talk to your agent to choose the coverage you need, have coverage options to protect the things you value most, file a claim right on the State Farm mobile app, and even reach a real person when you need to talk to someone. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Heather, another factor in back to school shopping is how much time it takes. And I know taking the time to go to multiple places, you can save money. But eventually I reach the point where I'm just done. And if I have to go to 3 more places to try to save money, it just starts to feel like a hassle. So if I wanted to go to just like one spot where I can get most of the things on my list for a decent price, maybe I've put off school shopping and I'm like, okay, I got one shot at this. Where would you recommend people go?
I mean, I've already said, but Staples really is my favorite place for the one stop. You can get everything there. And like I said, they price match. They have really competitive prices during back to school. So that's my go-to. But here's, a lot of people don't think of the drugstores when they're talking about back to school shopping. But CVS has some really great sales on like the hand sanitizer, Lysol wipes, some of that stuff that you don't, those are going to be a little bit higher priced at Staples. So if you can make a stop at CVS, there's some really great prices. Like Purell is $2 right now.
Oh, wow.
For the like 16-ounce bottle. So that's a really great price.
Yes, I would say, and since the pandemic, definitely we want the hand sanitizer and the Lysol wipes in the classroom. Let's not get sick
Keep
this
them
year.
stocked. And if you can buy more, I always buy extras of those products so that in December, when the classrooms are running low, I can just take some in to my teachers and like get them restocked.
That is a great idea. What back to school items do you feel are worth splurging on versus what items are you always trying to get as cheaply as possible?
Okay, the splurge items for me are backpacks, binders, and the calculators for the older kids. Like getting the name brand calculator, I think you can last the whole 4 years that way. So backpacks, I tell my kids we buy one every 3 years. And so we're getting a really high quality. I love JanSport because they have a lifetime guarantee. And, there's a lot of, speaking of guarantees, there's a lot of clothing brands that will do that. Like Old Navy, for their uniforms, they have a 1-year guarantee. So when my kids were in uniforms, we would shop there because then towards the end of the year, we could go, return them and get new items there. Target also has a guarantee on their Cat and Jack. And so they have a 1-year guarantee. You have to have the receipt, but you can do that as well. So those items I like to buy there. But the backpacks, look for the lifetime guarantees so that you can, because those can last. The kids like to get one every year.
Yes, yeah.
But you don't need to. And so as long as, we tried to not get anything that's too trendy or with a big print so that those will last longer. And same with like the binders, especially for middle school and high school. I think that you can get those to last 2 or 3 years as well if you're buying the higher quality ones.
Another big cost to the start of the school year are sports fees and getting kids all of the sports gear that they need. Are there any couponing deals or hacks for getting back to school sports equipment and gear?
I have found for sports gear that online is the best option. When I shop in store, it feels like they often don't have the size I need or the specific thing. And so I'm often shopping Amazon or online at like dicksportinggoods.com or shields.com. I find that just is more convenient and you can find savings still. Typically the online sales match the in-store sales, but the inventory is better online.
Heather, you've been teaching people how to do couponing and find deals for 15 years now with Krazy Coupon Lady. Are there any basic tips or tricks that people could use outside of this one back to school scenario who are, they've been hit hard by these inflated prices and they're just trying to save a little bit or maybe like dip their toes into couponing or looking for deals? What are some ways that people could kind of start getting into that?
Yes. So my best tip, and I've been saying this for 15 years and it holds true today, is to pick one store and learn how to save money at one store. It gets tempting when you realize how much money there is to save. It gets tempting to do everything all at once. And so it could be Walmart, it could be Fred Meyer, it could be one of the drugstores, really any of them. But just pick one and figure out their program. Like at Walmart, they have Walmart Cash now, which is like you get cash back on your purchases for certain items. The drugstores are, the best way to save, but it's more of a limited set of items that you can buy, but Walgreens or CVS is a great option. And then Albertsons or Kroger, they have high regular prices, but really good sales when you kind of stack it with the sales that they're running in store, plus the coupons that you can get like in Ibotta or Fetch, those are rebate apps. There's really good savings. And so I like to tell people to pick the store that's closest to their house. And so whatever that is for somebody, there's a way to save. And so just pick one store and then really dive in. The Krazy Coupon Lady has, deals that we post every day for those stores. And so just pick a few items that are on your list and go try it out.
Do you feel like since you've been doing this for so long, is it easier to be budget friendly for a family in Boise and the Treasure Valley compared to other cities?
I think so, because we have, so many different grocery stores. We have CVS and Walgreens. And so as long as you're willing to kind of shop around, I think that we're in a really lucky spot because of that. There's a lot of competition in the market, which drives prices down.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to teach us some tips and help everybody get back to school within their budget.
You're welcome. Happy to be here.
That's all for today here on CityCast Boise. If you enjoyed the show, why not subscribe to our Hey Boise newsletter for even more local budgeting hacks? We'll be back tomorrow morning with your Friday News Roundup. Catch you then.